So today we're going to spotlight one of my favorite college levels, the junior college level or community college level. This is listed as the NCAA, and junior college sports obviously don't get the exposure or the attention that, Division I sports do. But if you are just getting started with your recruiting, it would be foolish to completely discount junior colleges depending on what your situation is. And in today's video, I'm going to cover the pluses and minuses of going the junior college route. But first, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Blake Starkey. I help high school athletes and their parents understand all the stuff they need to do if they're interested in playing their sport at the college level. And I like to think I know a little bit about it because you see, for over 20 years, I was a high-level NCAA Division I head coach. I coached at 2 major universities in 2 different Power 5 conferences, and I have personally recruited and signed more athletes to full athletic scholarships than I could possibly count. And with what I do now as a professional consultant, I've helped even more kids and more families successfully go after scholarships and playing opportunities at the college level. It's just something that I'm really passionate about. Now, if playing your sport at the college level is something that you are really interested in, but you really don't know what you're doing or what, where to even start, look, that is completely natural. And one thing I want to tell you about really quickly here, I have a completely free guide that I personally put together that really lays out all the stuff that you need to be doing, and I want to send it to you. It's really super easy. All you got to do, there's a link at the bottom of this video. All you got to do is click it and I will email that to you completely free. It's a video walkthrough. You don't even have to take notes. I've got notes attached to it. Kind of walk you through everything you need to be doing your freshman year, sophomore year, junior year, senior year, all the way through high school. Just best practices to really get yourself noticed and recruited by college coaches. Now, if you don't understand how junior colleges or junior college sports work, then I think you're going to find this to be a pretty helpful video. And what I want to do is cover the types of high school athletes or the situations that they find themselves in to where they become really good candidates for junior colleges, or also to where junior colleges become really good candidates for them. But before really diving into that, I'd kind of like to cover a question that I surprisingly have gotten before, just in terms of how junior colleges work in the grand scheme of things. And so they are called 2-year colleges, sometimes community colleges. And so what that means is when you go to college, typically we go to college for 4 years. Sometimes more, sometimes less, but you think of it as a freshman year, sophomore year, junior year, senior. You get 4 years of college. You get 4 years of college eligibility as an athlete. And so if you go to a junior college, what you're actually doing is you're going for your first 2 years. You're going for your freshman year and you're going for your sophomore year. And then, if you play well and things work out, you turn around and get yourself recruited again, this time to a 4-year school. And when you transfer to that 4-year school, you would play your final 2 years of college eligibility there, which would be your junior year and your senior year. Now, when you finish up at the junior college level, you're awarded a degree that is called an associate's degree. Now, when you graduate from a 4-year college, you typically get either a Bachelor of Arts or a Bachelor of Science. And if we're going to have a discussion about junior colleges, I do want to point out the fact that I proudly played for Paris Junior College. I was a dragon back in the day. So I know better than most that you can absolutely start at a junior college and then later move on to your 4-year college. And for certain types of high school athletes, and I was one of them, this approach gives you a wonderful opportunity to completely reset everything academically and athletically moving forward. And I proudly wear my Paris Junior College gear because doing those 2 years before going to my 4-year college, it made all the difference in the world for me. It's a great approach for certain athletes. So what are the reasons that a high school athlete would go the junior college route instead of going straight to a 4-year college? There's all kinds of reasons and there's all kinds of situations, but I typically think that they fall into kind of 3 categories, and that is academic reasons, recruiting timeline reasons, and what does that junior college opportunity offer them? And we're going to get into all of those. So let's talk academics. Look, let's face it, you have a lot of high school athletes who, maybe they just coast through high school, they don't take it very seriously, and their grades are reflective of that. And, they may be good athletes and they may want to go off to a four-year school. They may even be recruited to four-year schools, but they have a problem, and that's their grades. And when you go to a four-year school, you have to have an SAT score, you have to have an ACT score, you have to have a certain graduating GPA, you have to have certain core courses, and so you have a lot of very good athletes who, something is missing and they can't go to the four-year school right out of the gate. Well, getting admitted to a junior college is much simpler. Junior colleges in general, you don't need an SAT score. You don't need an ACT score. You could have barely scraped by in high school. Your grades could have not been all that good. Junior colleges will take you. And so, you may have certain athletes where they definitely want to go to college. They want to graduate. They want that four-year degree, but, just getting started, that's going to be a struggle for them. And so a really good plan for this kid may be to go to a junior college. You can get in, and then it's almost like your clock starts all over again. All you've got to do there is you've got to maintain a minimum of a 2.3 GPA. And then you are eligible to transfer to most universities, and they don't get into, what was your SAT score, what was your high school GPA. They simply are looking at your first 2 years of college classes. And so you just go straight in as a transfer. So it's a really smart plan for certain athletes who want to go to a four-year school, but they may be struggling right after high school getting in. And so going to a really solid little two-year school for 2 years and playing, that's where you can you can compete, and at the same time you can kind of repair some damage that you may have done academically throughout your high school years, and then shoot right into a four-year school. So yeah, academics is a big reason why certain students look at junior colleges, or why junior colleges make very good sense for a certain athlete. The next reason would be recruiting timeline reasons. Junior college coaches are absolutely recruiting, but four-year college coaches are recruiting, but I feel like the recruiting starts earlier and earlier, and there's a lot of volatility. I believe there's a little more volatility at the junior college level than at the four-year college level. And so a lot of athletes, they may have started their recruiting process very, very late. And, I've mentioned this already. I have a completely free guide, a completely free walkthrough, but if you go through that, you're going to learn that, look, the earlier you start your process, as you start getting certain information in your head, you start doing the right things, it really helps with your overall recruitment. Well, you have a lot of athletes that they don't do that. And so you have some athletes, like it's literally their senior year, and they may be very interested in going to a four-year school, but, the coach at that school was kind of finished for that year, like almost 2 years ago. They knew who they were going to bring in, and when they look around at another school, that's the situation all over the place, and there's just not a home for them, where they may find, wow, there's a hand, I put my stuff out, and there's a bunch of junior college coaches that are very interested in me. And so you can kind of reset your timeline by going to a junior college, playing for 2 years, and then boom, at the end of that, get yourself recruited and go straight into a four-year school. So yes, timeline reason, certain kids go the junior college route. And the final one is opportunity. You may have a lot of athletes, myself included. I fell in this group where, at the end of the day, I just got a lot more scholarship dollars offered to me going to a junior college versus going to a four-year school. Like, I got small offers at some really good four-year schools, whereas I got a full ride at a junior college. And so I thought, heck, I'll take that pressure off my parents. I'll go for 2 years, have everything paid for at this junior college, and play really, really well during that time, and then get recruited and go to a four-year school on a larger scholarship. And so it just made sense. But yes, opportunity has a lot to do with it. People start looking at the scholarship dollars that they're being offered. They may be being offered $5 at a four-year school, whereas they may be offered a full scholarship at a junior college. So the junior college suddenly just makes a lot more sense financially. So what are some of the positives and what are some of the negatives of going the junior college route? Well, I think one thing, and I don't like to think of it in terms of a negative or a positive, but I think if you are going to go the junior college route and you are thinking later that you're going to transfer and go to a four-year school, I think it's just really, you need to be very realistic about the situation that you're about to step into, or should I call it the opportunity that you're about to step into. Maybe you didn't do the things that you needed to do during your high school years to where you were ready either academically, or you hadn't done all the right things that I know I teach in terms of really get yourself recruited effectively. And so, for whatever reason, this level looks like a really good option. But you are thinking that you do want to go to that four-year school. Well, here's the deal. You're not going to have to mess with SATs. You're not going to have to mess with ACTs. It's fine, whatever your high school GPA was. But when you go to that junior college level, you're kind of resetting everything. And so if you keep doing the things that you did in high school, it's not that. I don't know everybody's situation. But bottom line, you need to perform academically. Like I said, you need to have a 2.3 or higher. I would set a goal of having a 3.8, a 4.0 if possible. I would take academics very, very seriously so that when you take that next step, a college coach at a four-year school can look at you and say, I blew the doors off academically. And so you have that opportunity academically to reset everything. But again, it's college, and so you can go, and if you do a lot of partying and you just are an idiot and your grades suck, and you're below a 2.3, you're really not going to have an opportunity to go to that next level. You're just not. So for a high school athlete who's going into a junior college and maybe they didn't do all that great academically in high school, I look at that as a positive. You have this massive opportunity in front of you to reset the bar over the next 2 years, both academically and athletically. And it is, as I've already said, it is something to take serious. So I look at that as a positive. Now, another thing that's a positive is just cost. And so what I mean by that, junior colleges are relatively cheap. They don't cost a lot relatively compared to a four-year school. Let's say you get a three-quarter scholarship, a half scholarship. Well, that remainder, that other half that you're going to have to pay for at a junior college, it's just not that much. And so you're going to save a lot of money going that route for your first 2 years. And then later, if you transfer to a four-year school, and let's say you're on a partial there, you're going to pay a little bit more, but you didn't do that for 4 years, you only did that for 2 years. And so just the fact that junior colleges don't cost as much is a huge benefit to junior colleges. There are some junior colleges, like I don't know if you've ever been on Tyler Junior College's campus, because like there are junior colleges in Florida. Oh my God, they are nice. There are junior colleges all over the country that are very, very nice. And if you didn't know it wasn't a four-year school, you would walk around and be like, I had no idea. I mean, it's like the guys are handsome, the girls are cute. And so, you have all of those pluses. Just the things, you're around a lot of interesting people. You have good academic opportunities. The buildings are nice. The facilities are nice. And so I think walking into that and then kind of having a snob attitude is just, I think that's a mistake. But one final thing that I want to point out as a benefit of going the junior college route is let's look at this from a Division I college coach's point of view. So you have a choice. You have a scholarship, and what would you want to bring to your team? A 17 or an 18-year-old kid who's coming in as a freshman, first time away from home. They're very green. They've got to learn a whole new system of practices. You're going to hope that they're going to figure out academics pretty well. Or if you bring in a junior college kid, you're actually bringing a junior, not a freshman, a junior to your campus. This kid has already proven themselves academically. They've got a bunch of good wins under their belt. They've proven that they're a good athlete and that they're going to help your team as a veteran. So you have a lot of college coaches Division I college coaches, NAIA college coaches, who look at a kid. Now, the pluses and minuses of that is, let's say that junior college kid comes in and just tears it up and they're like really, really good. Well, the downside is you only have them for 2 years, and we wish you may have had them for 4. And if they don't play that well, that's a positive. You've only got them for 2 years, and so they're kind of in and they're out. But yeah, I think a lot of college coaches, they love junior college kids because they're coming in, they're already 2 years developed, they've been in college practices somewhere else, and so they're not a complete rookie walking in the door. And a lot of coaches look at that as a huge positive. And so if you do go the junior college route, like I said, if you start doing some of the stuff that we teach, then later on, if you've done that stuff, you're going to actually be able to sell some things that a incoming freshman would not. Look, I hope you found this video helpful. I really wanted to do something on the junior college routes because I'm a little biased. I'm a big fan of the junior college routes because I think it's a really smart way for lots of athletes to go. If you are that high school athlete and you're kind of wondering what you need to do and you need a little bit of help, I've already mentioned this guide that I have. It is so simple. There's a link down at the bottom. All you have to do is click that link and I will email it to you immediately. It's a video guide and I cover everything that you need to be doing your freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior years of high school, just really best practices to get yourself noticed and recruited by college coaches on a national level. You don't have to take notes. I send you notes with it. It's a really good thing. So like I said, all you gotta do is click and I'll send that to you immediately. And like I said, if this is a topic, put out videos very regularly talking about all things collegiate recruiting, and that's all we cover here. So if that's something that you're interested in, I think you'd find this channel helpful. I would appreciate a thumbs up on this video and absolutely give some consideration to subscribing to the channel. Listen, I want to wish you the absolute best of luck with everything that you're doing. Your academics, your sport, your goals, just all of it. And just like I said, we'll be turning around with another one of these videos soon. Take care.